Well, I think some of that can be addressed by the way in which you set up the seminar to start with, and the extent to which you set yourself up as an authority who will know about everything, who will know about Kant or whatever possible, anything that might be possibly relevant to the course in hand. So the first thing I would say is try to structure the seminar try to structure your course in such a way that you make it clear that everybody, not just you, but everybody is responsible for the success of that course. One of the things that you can do to underpin that is spend some time at the beginning, as Peter mentioned earlier, by setting out ground rules, so that everybody agrees on a certain number of conventions that you use throughout the module. That everybody respects everybody else's opinion and nobody interrupts, really. All sorts of things that you can do. You could start from a sort of brainstorm, a bit like the thing we did at the beginning of the day when we talked about what makes a good and a bad seminar. You know, what makes a good seminar and what makes a bad seminar. How can we put rules in place that create the good seminar? And if you're making it clear that the success of the seminar is down to everybody, and not just you, you shouldn't really be in those situations where you're being sort of challenged to show how much you know. So that would be the first thing I would say about that.
Yeah, I think that's true. And just following on from that point, don't necessarily expect to get very much done in the first seminar. When I say get very much done, I mean don't really expect the first seminar of any class to involve very much reading and discussion of the text. I normally get probably 20 minutes, if it's going well, of that into the first session. The rest of the first hour is spent on the kinds of activities that Jonathan is describing, having that kind of sense of agreement between you and the students about what's going to go on in the classroom, and then just picking up the point about not setting yourself up as an expert. The exciting moments in seminar are often when something occurs that you've never thought of before, and the students know when you're genuinely excited, and they really respond to it. So those moments of not knowing are actually often the best moments. The difficulty is when you get into trying to bluff. Don't try and bluff, they will catch you out. Saying to a student, you know, it's been a long time since I've read that, perhaps you can explain to the whole class why it's relevant, or I'm not familiar with this, but can you tell us why that comes to mind here? Not letting students name drop as well, not letting them drop in names like Kant without pulling them up and saying, hang on a minute, you know, why is he important? Can you explain who he is? Sometimes they don't know and you've caught them out. But that would be my advice really about that.
Yeah, I think that what I'd add to that is if you're in real trouble, say to the particularly obnoxious or hostile student, I don't think that this discussion is the right place to deal with that. Can I talk to you about that at the end? And then they get the reassurance, because they're often doing it theatrically in order to draw attention to themselves or to you. Once the theatre structure of the seminar is over, talking one-to-one, treating them with a bit of respect. Why are you wanting to know that? Or if in the case of the student who is saying why are we doing this? I don't get it. Saying, are you fed up with your course, or is this not what you signed up for? Or you do feel you're being ripped off by the university or whatever? Being as honest as possible. Talking one-to-one with them will often uncover things that the real motivations, and they'll frequently be quite different one-to-one than when the theatre of the seminar is there, and that they can frighten other students with what they say. So yeah, one-to-one, I'd say. Was that helpful? Has anyone got anything to add from experience about that?
Sometimes it's a group thing though. They come in as friends, or they have an axe to grind and they like to spread that around. So sometimes it's not just one.
Yes, and talking to them as a group afterwards or during the seminar while others are engaged in a particular task, just to know that they have got your attention, and yes, you are interested in their work and so on. I think that's often
but it's easy to spend far too much time engaging with them,
Right.
so much time that you're alienating other people, or rather that other people aren't following what you're talking about.
You do get the other students who've been in classes before with this person, where that person hasn't necessarily been very well managed, for want of a better word, who are annoyed with them coming into the seminar, as you say, and there can be eye rolling, there can be giggling, there can be whispering amongst other students when someone gets talking, and it, again, just systematically talking to them one-on-one, actually, not just the so-called problem student, but the students who are obviously reacting in particular ways to that student as well. I think that really does help.
Yeah. Okay.